Sighing heavily, Maractus begins its trek up and down the sandy hills of the desert, hoping to get that patch of shade it saw previously. It happened. Maractus wonders if it did the right thing. That Sigilif. Sure, it was acting rather mean towards the other Oasis Pokemon, and it was defeated. But did it really deserve the help and care of those Pokemon after it tried to take over the Oasis for itself? Maybe there was a reason it acted so harshly. Not like it mattered anymore, but Maractus knows it's going to weigh on its mind for a while. It felt really nice for Maractus to be thanked, cheered on, and helped in that way. Maractus stops walking and looks back for a moment, wondering if it should have stayed with them or not. It wouldn't be lonely anymore, and if it really wanted, it could help to protect and train the Oasis Pokemon in the same ways it was taught by its old trainer. Maractus shakes its head and continues its journey. Eventually, Maractus reaches the patch of land it really wanted to get to again. Completely exhausted, Maractus plants itself underneath a tree for shade. It took a lot of damage, so it uses its ingrain to absorb rich nutrients from the sandy soil beneath it. There wasn't much, but it did revitalise poor Maractus. Noticing it left its Oran berries back at the Oasis, Maractus sighs and pushes the roots of the ingrain further down, searching for more energy it can absorb. After some searching, Maractus is finally able to absorb enough nutrients to fully heal the damage it took from battle, but it's still hungry. Looking around, it can't see any berries to eat. Giving up for the time being, Maractus pulls up the ingrain roots back into itself and continues towards the town. It won't be long before the sun begins to set, so Maractus decides to hurry its pace a little bit. It wants to get into town while there are still trainers there, or just arriving. After a short while, Maractus finally reaches the town, noticing the sun beginning to set. Maractus wanders around the town, looking for any trainers it can find, but it seems like everyone it comes across are all locals who probably have no need for a Maractus, since they're plentiful around here. Maractus appears once more at the Pokémon Center, and thinks back to its time here, and its time with Charlotte, another trainer who didn't want it. Moving on from these memories, Maractus enters the Pokémon Center. On its way to the counter to see Nurse Joy, someone shouts over to Maractus, Hey, Maractus!" Maractus turns around, thinking it recognised the voice. For a second, Maractus saw the face of its old trainer, but that quickly fades away as it realises this is a person it's never met before. Maractus waddles over to this new person and looks up at them. "Hey there, where's your trainer?" Maractus sadly shakes its head. "Huh, wait, are you a wild Pokemon then?" Maractus nods its head. "Oh, well, my name is Oliver, Ollie for short. It's nice to meet you." Maractus holds out its arm for a handshake. "Ah, Maractus." Ollie lets out a small giggle as he shakes Maractus' hand. "I'm a trainer, and I've been looking for a Maractus for a few days now. Everyone here seems to have one, but there just seems to be no wild ones around. I was going to trade one of my Pokemon for a Maractus, but if you're wild, it might be better for me to catch you instead." Maractus hops back and strikes a battle pose, challenging the trainer to a battle. Oliver lets out a small snicker, then smirks at Maractus. "Oh, so you want to prove yourself, huh? Okay then, let's go see if Nurse Joy will let us use the battlefield at the back of the Pokémon Center. If you're better than the trade offer, I'll catch you instead." Maractus nods in agreement, and the two of them head over to the front desk to see Nurse Joy. "Hey, Nurse Joy, quick question." Nurse Joy looks up from her computer to see a young trainer with short blonde hair arriving at the desk. "Yes, may I help you?" she says with a polite smile on her face. "I was just wondering if it would be possible for me and this Maractus here to use the battlefield out back." Nurse Joy stands and peers over the desk to see Maractus. She immediately notices it as the Maractus she treated just the other day. "Oh, it's you. I'm glad you've recovered so well." Maractus waves at Nurse Joy. Wait. You know this Maractus?" he says, confused. "Of course. That Maractus was brought in for treatment the other day by a young trainer who found it. It seems like she left Maractus here though." Nurse Joy looks sad when explaining this. as she's noticed that Maractus was never taken in by Charlotte, the young girl who had found and brought Maractus to the Pokemon Center. So that's what happened. Well, all the more reason to test your resolve, Oliver says, turning to look at Maractus. Nurse Joy smiles and gives Oliver directions to get to the battlefield outside. Thanks, Nurse Joy. You ready, Maractus? Maractus nods sharply, feeling prepared for the challenge ahead. The two head over to the battlefield and prepare to battle. Oliver heads to the far side while Maractus remains and readies itself. Alright, Maractus, let's get this show on the road. Come out, Yamask. Oliver throws a Pokeball up into the air, which opens up, letting out dazzling blue light that forms into the Ghost-type Pokemon, Yamask. Yamask! A floating Yamask prepares itself for battle. Right, Yamask, let's go with Hex. Yamask raises its arms and emits a ghostly aura from its body. Maractus looks around itself to try and see where the attack is coming from, but is shocked when it's suddenly knocked to the ground by an invisible force. Maractus quickly gets back up and fires off a Bullet Seed. Yamask tries to float out of the way, but Maractus follows its movements and lands a couple of hits, knocking Yamask off balance. Quick, get going with Disable! Oliver shouts his command to Yamask, who immediately uses its ghostly powers to hold Maractus in place. Maractus tries to use Bullet Seed again, but is unable to. Panicking, a flurry of pin missiles bursts from Maractus' body, striking Yamask. Shake it off and use Astonish! Yamask quickly floats over to Maractus and uses its ghost-like charm to scare Maractus into flinching. But Maractus isn't bothered one bit. After all it's been through lately, this Yamask doesn't scare it one bit. Maractus pulls its arm back to wind up for the Shadow Punch. Believing Maractus to be using Drain Punch, Oliver doesn't give any commands. Yamask remains where it is, believing that there is no immediate danger. Maractus thrusts its arm forward, launching out a powerful point-blank Shadow Punch. Yamask is immediately pushed by the Shadow Punch across the battlefield, smacking it into the wall behind Oliver. Gobsmacked, Oliver does nothing. He just watched in sheer disbelief. But what was that? Maractus, was that Shadow Punch? He turns back to Maractus, mouth wide open. Maractus nods with confidence and puffs out its chest. Oliver looks back to Yamask and runs over to it. You tried, Yamask. Thank you. Oliver returns Yamask to its ball and turns back to Maractus with a rather serious face. Maractus, that move you just used. I've never heard of a Maractus doing that before. I don't know how you managed to pull that off, but that was incredible. A unique Maractus with that kind of sheer power would be amazing on my journey. Maractus waddles over to Oliver. Alright, you won. It was kind of cheating, but I'm really impressed. Why that Charlotte didn't take you with her is beyond me. How would you like to come along with me on my journey, Maractus? Maractus' eyes begin to tear up as it slowly nods, accepting Oliver's offer. Smiling, Oliver holds out a Pokeball to Maractus. Wiping its eyes and smiling with all its heart, Maractus taps on the ball. The ball opens up and turns Maractus into red energy, sucking it in. The ball closes and wiggles. 1, 2, 3. Click! The Pokeball locks. Well, Maractus, you're not going to be lonely anymore.